are two distinct advantages to rendering your After Effects project. Using Adobe Media Encoder, the first one is the fact that Media Encoder contains a tons of different presets. So if you need to save a file for a portable device or a specific social network, there is a preset for that. The second is the fact that it actually moves rendering out away from your After Effects project into Media Encoder. So if you are really busy, you can save a version of your project, send that to Media Encoder, and then go back to After Effects and keep working. Now, I have a composition I want to render using the Media Encoder queue. So let's start by going to the timeline, and I will press the Home key on my keyboard to move my current time indicator back to the beginning of the timeline. And then I will press the spacebar to preview the animation. The animation looks good. So I will press the spacebar to stop playback. In order to send this Media Encoder, all I need to do is go up under the composition menu and choose Add to Adobe Media Encoder queue. Now, it may take a second to launch, but once it launches, go to the upper right corner of the interface where it says Queue. You see your After Effects project with the name of the composition that you just sent. This area is divided up into 3 columns: format, preset based on the format, and then the output file, which will be the file name itself. So I will click on the output file name. I will just call this town. And it's automatically going to create a folder next to your After Effects project file to save your renders in. I will leave that all set. I will just name it town and click save. Let's click on the format drop-down. You can choose whatever format file you like. I'm actually going to leave H.264 setup. Then under the preset based on H.264, I'll have a whole host of presets I can choose from. Let's say I want to render to YouTube 720p HD. There we go. Now go back up and click on the words multiple renderers, which is the name of your composition. Once you do that, the second button in and the queue will become active. This will allow you to add another output for this individual file. Now, rather than going there to set the composition for this file, I'm going to go down here under the preset browser. I'll click in the search area and start typing blue, because I would like to make a compression for the Blu-ray disc. Here, I will choose HD 720p 59.94. And I will drag that to drop it right on the second entry here. When I let go, now I got a Blu-ray renderer that's rendering. I still need to name the file. I'll click here under Output File. I'll just call this Town 02. And click Save. Now we're ready to render. As soon as we click this green button, I want you to look in the bottom area here in encoding panel, because it's going to go fast. That's giving me 2 previews, one for each of my different outputs. Now I navigate to my window file, Explore. There's my Create Multiple Renderer with Adobe folder. And if you open that, inside of here, there's my Town renderer. There's my Town 2 renderer. To preview any of these, just double click. Whatever you're trying to create a specific file format, or just work more efficiently. Render as you work. Adobe Media Encoder is the perfect tool to integrate into your daily workflow.